I am Shannon McRandle, used to be Shannon Bexa, and I was hired to be the living person that was the face of the fictional character, Mara Jade, for the Decipher Star Wars game cards. And was it a Survey and Insider? And Mara was the fan favorite that had never been on film. So Decipher said, hey, let's do something with that. A card game sounded like a great idea. Got all their approvals. Lucasfilm liked the idea. And they set out a casting call for a 5'9", 5'10", redhead, dancer type body, but strong. And I actually got in a little bit before the casting through the photographer that shot the whole thing. And they canceled their casting after they met me because I just looked like what they had pictured in their heads. So it was rather a simple, straightforward process to getting the job as Mara. But then, as we all know now, it grew from there. I'm an old school board game girl, so the idea of collecting cards and there's this intricate game that you could play with them, I'd never heard of it before. So the initial meeting was just kind of go in, see what it was all about, meet the people at Decipher, and they kind of got what they wanted from it, and I was just sort of exposed to the whole idea of this card game, and I went home. I had gone, when I left the first time, I went straight to a comic book shop. I thought, I've got to figure out who this woman is because I know I can do it. They had a board, a mock-up of all the different comic book covers and different artist ideas because she'd never really been pulled together with one look. It was just whoever drew it or painted it that day. It was what they thought Mara would look like. Or if they didn't even know Mara and they got the description of green eyes, red hair, strong, she's a fighter, she's kind of a badass. So by the time I went back for my second interview, I'd had time to pretty much read the first 2 books, which was, you know who she is. If you read those books, you know everything about her. Tim wrote with such passion about her, and she was a very detailed character. So I knew to stand up straighter. I knew to lighten my hair a little bit to make it that orangey or red. I got green contacts and put those in. So when I went back the next time, they were really, I think, kind of wowed that I would put that much effort into what we thought then was just this tiny shoot. Mara was absolutely the first female character that I knew about that maybe she was even almost the opposite of our beloved Princess Leia because, Princess Leia, she's smart, she was wonderful, she was brave. There was so much about Princess Leia for little girls to identify with, which is wonderful. But then Mara comes along and she's all those things too. But I think Mara had more fun because she wasn't a good guy in the beginning. And it's kind of always fun to have the bad guy that you fall in love with because they have amazing qualities as well as these kind of scary, badass qualities about them. Yeah. They have things that really are endearing to you. And Tim wrote Mara just so perfectly. I think that as fans and as readers of the books, we were able to see that kind of dichotomy in her, that she was a bad guy on a certain path that did what her boss told her to do. Nothing would get in her way. She had a mission and that's that. And yet at the same time, she was her own person with her own thoughts and her own interests. And I think she was just beautifully complicated. And I don't think that we saw that depth of complication in Princess Leia that was on screen at the time. She was just this beautiful, iconic thing that every little girl wanted to be. Mm-hmm. But she didn't have quite that, at least from my young eyes watching the movies, she didn't have that depth that Tim was able to write in. So looking back on everything, about Mara Jade, getting to play her for the one card, if it had just been that one day, that one card, and a couple of Deciphercons, I would have been ecstatic. It was fun. I got to meet great people. I really got an understanding of how much more Star Wars was out there in the world, that, just because they weren't making movies at the time didn't mean that, you had to lose Star Wars from your life for a while. There's so much out there, whether you want to play a game, whether you want to dress up, whether you want to read a novel or a comic book. That being Mara, that one time introduced me to this world I never knew existed. But to have it develop from there, to have that one day evolve the way it did, because of the fans, because of the people that read the books, that participated in that poll on Insider that voted Mara Jade the most well-loved character never on screen. Because of those people, because of their need to have Mara in their lives, I couldn't ask for anything more. It has been really, it sounds cheesy to say, it's been the time of my life. It's been 20 of my 50 years on this earth, and not one of them uninteresting. Every single one exciting, every single chapter different, and just a whole new spin-off in another direction, another world for Mara. It's just been a wild ride. It's been a roller coaster, and it's been such a pleasure to be part of it, and an honor. I wouldn't say that I'm iconic. Mara Jade is iconic, and to have been able to stand in her boots for a moment in her history, you couldn't ask for anything better. You just couldn't ask for anything more exciting, more fulfilling, or just more fun. It's really been one of the best parts of my life.